Hey guys, it's Karen, my review for Cam. And what Cam is essentially about is we center on the character of Alice, and she is someone who is a professional cam girl on this site. She is very adamant about making the top 50, and when she eventually makes the top 50, while she is overjoyed about it, she very quickly starts to get lowered, and hoping to, up her popularity and things like that. She tries various different shows, but she starts to realize that someone else has hacked into her account somehow, who is basically an exact duplicate of her, and they basically start going into her account, and they start doing all these shows, which she ends up getting locked out, and so the rest of the film is basically her trying to get back into it, and hopefully being able to get her account back, and that's really all I'm going to say. So Cam overall, I'm going to be honest, I was not looking forward to, neither was I dreading this film. I really went into it not knowing much of anything. I was kind of indifferent to it. I heard really great things about it when it was coming out, which surprised me. It definitely did not seem like a film that I thought was really going to get any acclaim whatsoever, but I heard really great things about it. I have a friend who really wanted me to watch this, so I checked it out, and yeah, I was pretty blown away by this film. Cam is definitely one of the best Netflix films that I've seen all year. I really love this one a lot. It's much different than I was expecting, and we're just getting to right now, starting off with the cast. And I'll say right now, pretty much everyone here actually did a really stellar job. I was overall very impressed by the acting here, especially from Madeline Brewer, who I know she was in Handmaid's Tale. I did not get to see her in that, but she really impressed me here. I thought she did a very good job as the character of Alice, who really is just someone who really enjoys camming. She's very dedicated to it. It's something that she spent, the better time, period of time, better time of her life doing, and it's something that she really doesn't want to go away, and you feel when she gets this tool taken away from her, something that she really loves to do, you just feel that urgency. You feel like this is a dire situation. You want her to get it back, and they do a really great job with that. I really loved her character. She was very likable. She's definitely someone that I will be looking out for in other films, because I think she definitely had a pretty big star-making turn here, and I was very impressed by her overall. But the rest of the cast here, no one really is on her level, but they all do a really great job. Melora Walters is very good as her mother. I definitely really like where she goes. I thought at first she'd be a little over the top, but I thought she definitely did a really great job. Darragh plays this character, Tinker, who I don't want to say too much about him, but he's very fun to watch. He's someone who he's constantly watching Alice, and he always gets very flustered when he's talking to, girls and things like that, and I thought he was definitely a very fun character. I enjoyed him a lot. Imani Hakim's very good. Devin Druid as Alice's brother I thought was very good here, and I do want to shout out Michael Dempsey as this character of Barney, someone else that Alice ends up interacting with. There's one particular scene with him in general that was just chilling. I was not expecting it to go there, and he did a really great job. Really, everyone did a very good job in this film. No one felt like they were over the top. It felt very real, and I was very impressed with the directing here. And I was especially impressed considering that most of these guys aren't actors, but I really think everyone did a great job here. But now I really want to get to the directing and the writing, because that's what really impressed me with this film. Now, if you watch the trailer for this film, you probably get the sense this is going to be a horror movie, and it's really not. This is much more of, I'd say, a psychological thriller, and a really great one at that. And what the director here does a very good job with is, it's not just a thriller. There are moments of this movie that are very funny, but there also are some moments in this movie that are very dramatic, and they actually do have a really nice story to it, and I think the directing was very well done here. It's very patient in its approach. It has a very specific style to it, and I really like the way it was done, but the thrilling aspects of this movie are definitely very well done, but like I said, the lighthearted moments especially did stick out for me, and I just thought the directing over here was really great. However, this is very much Mazzei's movie, who wrote this movie. This is very much her movie because she actually was a cam girl. And you could tell that she really wanted, I think, to document her experience and show it in a very, I think in a very realistic manner. And that's what I really was impressed by the writing here. Now, obviously, I don't know someone who's a cam girl, and I definitely don't have any experience in that field, obviously, but something that I thought they conveyed very well here is they do not try to demean Alice for doing this. They actually show why she loves doing this. Why does she enjoy being a cam girl? Because it's something that makes her passionate. And honestly, you can trade out cam girl for anything that you're passionate about. Say you're passionate about a sport, for example, and let's say that you're really great at that sport and, you perfect it and you have all these fans and things like that, but then suddenly you're benched and you're replaced by someone who is in the same position as you, and suddenly you're forced to just watch from the sidelines. That's essentially what Alice is going through. I have no idea why I just use a sports analogy, because I am the last person in the world to know anything about sports, but it came to my mind, and that's what it is. But, besides that, that's really beside the point. Alice in general, you really do understand her passion for this. You understand why she really wants to do this, and they do a very good job with that. And who she tells people about camming and who she doesn't, it's also very well done. There's a really great scene between her and her mother, and the way that whole thing played out, I was very impressed by. I really liked the way it was done. The film had a lot more authenticity to it than I was expecting, and I think it just did a very good job of shining a light on someone who just really loves doing this, and there's nothing wrong with that. The film is very unapologetic in that sense, and I love that. I love, a lot of times this would be frowned upon. They would be ashamed. They would try to shun this individual. People would see her as, like, the weird girl, but they normalize it, and it should be normalized because, again, it is an occupation. It's a profession that she enjoys doing. It's something that is making her money. It's something that she gets to do, and, she feels them very confident when she does it. She has a lot of adoring fans when she does it, and why should she be ashamed? And that's something this film covers very well, and that's something that I was very impressed by overall. I was not expecting them to tackle it in the way they did, but I was very happy that they did that here. But the mystery in general is also very compelling, especially because you already care about Alice. They give you enough time to care about her, and getting her in, and seeing her get into the top 50 and things like that, that when this actually happens, it's really terrifying to think about. You want to know why this is happening and why no one is really taking this seriously. I thought also was very interesting. Anyone she goes to, they don't really take it seriously because the girl looks exactly like her, so there's not really much she can do about this, and it just becomes a very compelling mystery. And the film is less about why this is happening and more of how she's able to get it back. And I think the film made a wise choice in doing that because a lot of people are going to complain about that, but the film is not about that. The film is about her passion for camming. The film is about her, getting, not losing sight of her passion, making sure that she has that passion, and I thought that was definitely handled very well here. However, the film also isn't afraid to get into some of the dangers of what Alice is doing. There are a few times in the film where she meets up with people that she's been interacting with, and it doesn't turn out to go the way it did. But again, the film is not overdoing it. Like, it's a very real portrayal of what would happen to someone in that situation, and that was something I was very impressed by. The whole time, it just felt like a very real type of situation, much more than I was expecting, and I was overall very impressed by that. I will say also the cinematography here is very well done. The scenes where she is on cam, it definitely felt like it was a real site. It definitely felt like this was a site that you could go on and things like that. Like, I don't know exactly what they did in terms of technology, but they did a very good job with that. And the film itself, there's a lot of really great, stylistic choices that I enjoyed a lot here. Very good cinematography overall. And the score to this film as well, nothing nothing amazing, but I definitely really did enjoy the score and the editing. If I had to have one complaint, I think the film was a little too short. There were a couple things they could have dived into a little bit more, and I would have overall been a little more impressed by it. But for the most part, it's very well paced. I was very riveted by what was going on the whole time, and again, for a film I was not expecting much from. It's definitely, you know, a big compliment. But in terms of flaws, there's not a ton with this film, but there are two problems I do have with it. One is that there is a character in this film who early on, something occurs with this character. Alice is talking to them, video chats, and something happens, and I'm like, okay, so this is probably what's going on, and it's going to come back to this character. That never gets brought up again. We don't know what that was all about, and I was just kind of sitting there like, so why did that happen? Why did this turn out the way it did? And it did not work for me. I didn't really understand what the point of that really was. Like, it felt like a red herring, but we never got, like, the payoff. Like, what was the point of that? And I kept waiting for it, and it didn't happen. Also, there's one character in this film who I thought needed one more scene. The way this character ends, it just didn't feel very satisfying, and I kept wanting them to come back to him, but it just didn't really happen here. Now, I know I haven't done this in a while, but I actually do want to get to some spoilers with this film, because there is one thing I want to talk about. And, of course, if you haven't seen Cam, just go right now, because I do want to talk about the spoilers. I really want to talk about the ending here, because I think a lot of people have misinterpreted this ending. You know, the ending of the movie. Sure, Alice ends up deleting her account, and yes, she does make another one, but, I mean, can you really blame her? Because the whole point of the movie, like I said, is that this is her passion. This is what drives her. It's something she really enjoys. It's why her mother is so supportive, despite the fact that she obviously is not necessarily agreeing with what Alice is doing. She supports her because she's her daughter, and she sees what it's doing for her, and she sees that she's good at it. Remember that her mom had that conversation with her when she tells her that she's really good at it, and she can see why she enjoys doing it. So that should be the ending. Alice should be able to continue what she's doing. She just has more control of it now. And now that she's wearing that wig, no one's going to suspect that it's her, and it's one of those instances where she starts from the bottom, works her way to the top, and I'm sure you can pretty much, again, substitute that with any certain job or occupation that you really do enjoy, and I think this film very much does do that. So no, the ending is not a problem for me. I thought it was honestly a really perfect ending, and it made a lot of sense why it wrapped up the way it did, and I think if you didn't understand the ending, you didn't understand what the movie was trying to do overall. Again, it's trying to normalize what she's doing, and for her to just stop camming entirely, that would not make sense with the character, and I thought this was definitely a much, you know, really good ending overall. Other than that, though, this is a really great film. It's much different than I was expecting. It feels a lot more grounded in reality. It has a really great performance from Madeline Brewer. It's really, like I said, shining a light on, I think, an occupation that really does not get enough. It's really kind of normalizing it and showing that it's not something to be ashamed of, and I think it's a film that, you know, considering that it is something that has been frowned upon, I think it's good that this film really does exist. It has some really great writing to it, much better than I really was expecting. A really great script overall, a very interesting mystery that I just really found myself getting wrapped up in. It's one of Netflix's best films this year by far, and I am definitely going to give Cam overall an A-. Like I said, a much better film than I was expecting. If you're looking for a film that's really riveting but also tells a very good story, Cam is definitely right up your alley. I really enjoyed this one a lot, but that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have seen Cam, let me know what you guys thought of it. Love to hear your thoughts, and we'll see you guys in my next video, and I will see you guys for that, which, guys, you know, stay up to date because I got a lot of reviews coming. I've been seeing a lot of movies lately because I'm trying to get the best, you know, the most accurate best list possible. So definitely look out for many other reviews coming throughout this week, the next 2 weeks actually. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.